In a family forged by ambition, where wealth is a throne and loyalty a lie, inheritance becomes a battlefield. This is the story of the Holt siblings, bound by blood, divided by greed, where a father's will ignites a war that burns their empire to ash. Welcome to a tale where legacies are weapons, and vengeance claims the crown. The will reading was meant to be simple, but the Holt family thrived on power, not simplicity. On a gray November morning, beneath the marble columns of the Holt estate in Connecticut, 4 siblings gathered in a room heavy with dust and old money. Their father, Charles Holt, Titan of Holt International, lay buried less than a week, his stern portrait glaring above the fireplace. From a modest shipping firm, he'd built a global conglomerate, his word law, his fortune vast. Now, the question hung like smoke: who would inherit his empire? Margaret, 52, sat rigid, a hawk in charcoal Dior, her pearls gleaming, grief a mask of perfect mascara. She'd run the company's charitable arm but craved more. Daniel, 48, broad-shouldered, jaw tight, was the presumed heir, groomed by Charles, his steel eyes mirroring their father's, but so did his temper. Sophia, 39, leaned back, arms crossed, the black sheep artist, long estranged, her return a mystery laced with resentment. Michael, 32, polished and charming, the peacemaker, had been Charles's confidant in his final years, whispering in his ear. 4 siblings, 1 throne, and a will none trusted. The lawyer, thin with watery eyes, cleared his throat. As executor of Charles Holt's estate, I present his final will. Paper crackled, the siblings leaning in. I, Charles Holt, of sound mind, declare. Legal jargon faded into the crux. To my children, Margaret, Daniel, Sophia, Michael, I leave Holt International, to be entrusted solely to my son, Michael Holt. Silence roared. Michael blinked, lips twitching faintly. Margaret's jaw fell, Daniel's fist slammed the table, Sophia whistled bitterly. All of it? Margaret hissed. Sole ownership, the lawyer confirmed, glasses slipping. This is fraud. Daniel roared, standing. Father would never. Signed, witnessed, notarized, the lawyer cut in, voice thin. Convenient, Sophia muttered, sarcasm sharp. Margaret's rage trembled. He built this with us, Daniel and me. And you give it to the baby? Michael spoke, calm but strained. I didn't ask for this. It's what father wanted. You manipulated him, Daniel growled. You stole it. Michael's eyes hardened. Believe what you want. The will is legal. The room exploded, Margaret's accusations, Daniel's threats, Sophia's biting jabs, Michael's composure fraying. The lawyer gathered his papers, voice shaking. Disputes go to court. He fled, leaving a storm. The estate turned battlefield. Daniel hired lawyers to contest the will, Margaret rallied bored allies, whispering Michael's youth and recklessness. Sophia watched, sketching in her notebook, resentment glinting. Michael moved fast, securing executives and accounts, the company bending to him with eerie ease. But rumors spread, Charles's mind faltering in his final months, Michael isolating him, controlling visitors. The whispers grew sharp. In the library, Daniel cornered Sophia. You saw father's decline, he said, voice low. He didn't know us by the end. Michael moved in, and suddenly the will changes? Sophia's pen tapped her sketchbook. You think he played father? I know it, Daniel said, eyes burning. Drafts named me heir. Then Michael rewrote everything. Sophia smirked. So, court? Expose our mess? If I must, he growled. Careful, she said. Your temper's why you lost. He slammed the desk, making her flinch. With me or not? Not yet, she said, smile fading. Margaret plodded alone, inviting Michael to tea, her warmth a mask. The empire's heavy for you, dear, she cooed. I could help, share leadership, 50-50. Michael set down his cup. You mean take half? Her eyes narrowed. To save you from the sharks. Father didn't trust you, he said, unshaken. Neither do I. Her face hardened. You'll regret that. The war ignited. Michael's moves were challenged, Daniel stormed boardrooms, Margaret whispered poison, Sophia observed, her silence a weapon. The company became a battlefield, the estate cold, siblings passing like predators. Michael worked late at father's desk, papers strewn, doubts creeping. Had father truly chosen him, or had he seized power? Outside, Margaret schemed, Daniel raged, Sophia watched. The cracks deepened. The war was just beginning. 2 weeks after the will's reading, the Holt siblings were no longer family, they were enemies, their war waged in whispers and legal strikes. To the world, they mourned, cameras flashing as they entered Holt Tower, headlines proclaiming the dynasty's resilience. But behind glass walls, I, Sophia Holt, watched blades sharpen. Daniel struck first, storming an emergency board meeting with father's commanding presence. Michael Holt is unfit, he declared, slamming medical records on the table. Father's mind failed, forgetfulness, confusion. Michael isolated him, manipulated the will. It's fraud. Directors shifted, murmurs spreading. Michael sat calm, eyes steady. Proof of manipulation? He asked softly. Daniel sneered, you controlled his visitors, his pen. Accusations aren't proof, Michael countered. Daniel laughed bitterly. I'll drag this to court. Margaret raised a delicate hand, voice honeyed. Perhaps shared leadership, Michael's youth, Daniel's experience. No, Michael snapped. Father chose me. Margaret's smile hid fury. I leaned back, smirking, popcorn, anyone? That night, Margaret visited my studio, a loft reeking of turpentine, canvases slashed with black and crimson. Your paintings always saw us too clearly, she said. I didn't turn from my work. You're here because you want something. Her heels clicked. Michael's reckless, Daniel's a brute. Together, we could reshape the empire, sisters, equals. I faced her, brush in hand. What's in it for me? Freedom, she purred. You, the exile, recognized as a shareholder, a partner. I dipped my brush in black, slashing the canvas. Tempting, but I don't trust you. Daniel grew desperate, his lawyers unearthing old will drafts naming him heir, predating Michael's rise. In court, Michael's team crushed them. Drafts aren't binding, his attorney said, holding the notarized will. All legal. Daniel's rage burned as the judge nodded. Margaret fed the press tales of Michael's corruption. Daniel roared betrayal in interviews. I gave cryptic quips, fanning gossip without choosing sides. Michael held firm, but cracks formed. One night, a car nearly hit him in Holt Tower's garage, headlights blazing before it screeched away. Accident? A guard asked. Message, Michael said, jaw tight. Days later, a package arrived at my loft, no sender. A flash drive held grainy footage, father, frail in a wheelchair, eyes confused, Michael guiding his hand to sign papers. My breath caught, coercion, clear as day. My phone rang, a blocked number. Daniel's voice crackled, now you see. Michael stole it. Help me expose him. Where'd you get this? I asked. Doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve the empire. I hung up, the images seared into me. At the next board meeting, I spoke, voice sharp. I've seen evidence. Father wasn't sound when he signed. Michael betrayed us. Gasps echoed. Michael's mask cracked. Doctored footage, he said coldly. You know Daniel's lies. Maybe, I shot back, but perception is king, and you look like a thief. Directors exchanged uneasy glances, the empire wavering. Margaret seized the moment, calling a press conference, pearls gleaming under lights. Michael twisted father's wishes, she declared. I'll restore integrity to Holt International. Headlines screamed, Holt siblings war splits empire. Michael watched from his office, fists clenched, his siblings striking hard. But he wasn't defenseless. In the estate's library, he confronted me, shadows flickering. Daniel and Margaret will use you, then discard you, he said. Father trusted me to lead without rage or greed. He loved you, Sophia, even if he didn't show it. Don't betray me. My resolve wavered, then hardened. You betrayed me first, I said, walking out. The empire fractured, boards split, courts tangled, press feasting. Daniel hinted at more recordings, Margaret courted investors, I played both sides, my cards hidden. Michael realized survival meant ruthlessness. In the Holt family, blood wasn't thicker than water, it was the first to spill. The Holt estate was a battlefield of ink and ambition, where lawyers, headlines, and conspiracies replaced swords. The Holt Foundation charity ball loomed, a glittering stage for politicians, tycoons, and celebrities, the family's public crown. Daniel planned to rally his legal crusade, Margaret to unveil a partnership cementing her as heir. I, Sophia Holt, kept my intentions shadowed, while Michael aimed to project unyielding strength. A faltering step would topple his empire. The ballroom sparkled, chandeliers raining light, gowns and tuxedos shimmering. Daniel entered first, stone-faced, commanding. Margaret followed, pearls gleaming, smiles cutting. I drifted in last, black silk whispering, a ghost among giants. Michael arrived alone, cameras flashing, headlines whispering, the air stands isolated. Yet his mask held firm. Margaret's speech oozed legacy, Daniel thundered justice, Michael preached innovation. Then I took the stage, unscheduled, voice clear. Tonight, we pretend unity, I said, but the Holts are enemies, our empire rotting with greed and betrayal. Gasps rippled. Michael froze. I raised a remote, a screen descending. Grainy footage played, father, frail, Michael guiding his hand to sign. You robbed his dignity, I said, eyes on Michael. Our legacy. The crowd murmured, cameras flashed, Daniel smirked, Margaret's glee hid behind pearls. Michael's composure cracked. Sophia. You betrayed us, I cut in. But Michael struck back, pulling a flash drive. You think I forged that? He said, voice sharp. Watch this. The screen flickered, clear footage of father, weak but lucid, speaking to the camera. My children will call me confused, but I know my choice. Michael will lead. The others are wolves, circling my death. This is my will. The room shifted, gasps rising. Daniel's face reddened, Margaret's nails dug into her palms, my breath caught. Michael's voice rang, father saw you, parasites. I won't let you burn his empire. Applause surged, the tide turning. Daniel snapped, storming the stage, shoving Michael. You stole my birthright, he roared, fist striking Michael's jaw. You'd destroy it. Michael spat, blood dripping, tackling back. You're a child playing king. Father despised you. The crowd screamed, cameras flashing as brothers brawled. Margaret shrieked, rushing forward, but I grabbed her arm. Let them ruin each other, I whispered, eyes glinting. Security dragged them apart, Daniel thrashing, I'll burn you down. Michael stood, bruised but defiant. The fallout was swift. Daniel's arrest for assault dominated news, his reputation shattered. Margaret's scheming faltered as investors fled her tainted image. My footage, traced to Daniel's allies, was doctored, I claimed ignorance, but suspicion clung. Michael stood tall, the board and investors rallying behind father's lucid words. He'd won the empire, but scars marked him. Weeks later, Michael stood at father's grave, the cemetery cold. They hate me, he whispered. Daniel, Margaret, Sophia, they'll never stop. The wind carried father's echo, leadership has a price. I'll pay it, Michael vowed, jaw tight, walking away, the empire's weight heavy. The gravestone stood silent, but the Holt legacy stirred, restless. Revenge slept, waiting for the next betrayal to wake it. Thus ends Crown of Ashes, a tale of siblings torn by greed, where a fathers will spark a war that burned their empire. Stay tuned for more stories where blood is the first casualty, and vengeance the final victor.